Hello everyone, welcome to Rasayan Academy. My name is Jagriti and in today's session we are going to talk about Peterson elimination reaction. So yes, it's been a while since I posted in the 100 name reaction video, but yes, this is our fourth reaction and I am home and I think that I'll be posting more frequently. Alright, so let's talk about this reaction, Peterson elimination reaction. Okay. So, what is the most important point about Peterson elimination reaction is that it has got a lot of stereochemistry to be understood, right? That is why it confuses a lot of people. If the reaction is happening in the acidic medium or the basic medium, what is the stereochemistry? How is the product going to be? So, all of that we are going to discuss in today's session. Okay, right? So, what is basically Peterson elimination reaction, right? Just like an acidic proton is removed by a base, okay, just like an acidic proton, I have written H plus, let's say I have written OH over here. So just like an acidic proton is removed by a base, let's say OH minus, okay, by which we understand that OH minus is nucleophilic, it is having a lot of electrons and the hydrogen is electrophilic. This is what we understand by this acid base reaction, isn't it? Right. Similarly, silicon is readily removed by hard nucleophiles. Okay. So hard nucleophiles, like either it has to be fluoride F minus or it has to be alkoxide. Okay, or OH minus can also work over here. Okay, so silicon is going to work as an electrophile. Okay, and it's going to be attacked by hard nucleophiles, which are going to be fluoride F minus and RO minus. Okay, and I hope that you are clear with the hard and soft nucleophiles. Okay, right, and this can promote an elimination. Now this elimination is Peterson elimination and we are going to talk about the reaction, the stereoselectivity, as well as we are going to solve a CSIR question as well. So yes, let's first talk about the reaction. That is, if let's say you are having a hydroxy group and a SiMe3, something like this, okay, a silicon group over here, okay, usually you are going to get it like this only, either it is Si trimethylsilyl, okay, either it is trimethylsilyl or it is going to be some other alkyl group as well. Okay, so this is how it is. Now in the presence of HF or let's say any other source of F, which is let's say F minus, it is giving somehow, okay, you must have very popularly heard about this TBAF. Now what is TBAF? It is tertiary butyl, okay, let me just write it, it's tetrabutyl ammonium fluoride. Okay, tetrabutyl ammonium fluoride. Now this is basically an ammonium ion which usually we can compare with NH4 plus, and F minus is along with it. So this is just butyl group over here. Okay, so this is a source of very popular source of fluorine, okay, in our organic reactions, also called the phase transfer catalyst. Okay, so yes, let's come on to the mechanism once again. That is, if we are having a source of fluorine, it's going to attack over silicon, okay, and definitely the H plus, because HF is a very acidic, this proton is very acidic, and the OH is going to take up this proton, it becomes the hydronium ion itself, and the F minus attacks over silicon, the bond opens up like this and you get your alkene over here. This is basically our Peterson olefination reaction. It's very easy in the case of F minus. I've told you one of the source. You can also have alkoxide, it can be methoxide, it can be ethoxide, whatever you want. Okay, right, that is also going to drive the same reaction. Though Peterson elimination is very simple, but what we have to understand is the selectivity in this reaction. Now what is the selectivity? That is, guys, if we are starting with a cis alkene, let's say we have started with a cis molecule, that is both of the both of the alkyl groups are on the same side and both of the hydrogens are on the other side, and let's say I have kept the silicon and hydroxy group over here like this. Okay, now it's a very important reaction, and I hope that you understand what is stereo selectivity in reactions. Okay, and if you are new to this, I would suggest you to study it from Claydon a little bit, stereo selectivity, stereo specificity. All right, Okay, so in the acidic medium, what happens is this reaction shows anti-elimination, and the isomer formed depends on the substrate taken. This is a very important line we have to discuss. The isomer which is formed is also going to depend on the substrate taken. What do I first? I'm going to tell you what do I mean by anti-elimination. Let's say I have these two groups. Let's say this is a hydrogen, this is a R group, something like this, okay, and I have my OH2 positive over here because we are going to take it in the acidic medium. It is going to be a hydronium ion. Secondly, silicon with some any other R groups is going to be over here, and this is the stereochemistry, let's say. All right, anti-elimination is when you are having the anti-periplanar position. This is called the anti-periplanar position, and it's similar to the E2 elimination. You have studied a E2 elimination a lot of times, okay. It's very similar to E2 elimination, bonds moving up like this, and this is the anti-periplanar position that we want. Okay, the leaving groups must be opposite to each other. Okay, and what is syn elimination? Syn elimination happens, let's say, sorry, this is a carbon. Syn elimination happens, okay, this is a hydrogen, this is R, I'm just writing it the same way, SiR3, when both of these groups are going to leave from the same side, okay. That happens when both of these groups are leaving from the same side. That is called syn elimination. And anti-elimination I have just shown you. So we are going to discuss the syn in the presence of base also, okay. Right, so in the acidic medium it shows anti-elimination, and isomer formed depends on the substrate taken. Let's talk about this now, since you are clear with what is anti-elimination. Now first thing first, since we are doing acidic medium, we are going to first of all do the protonation of the OH, and it's going to become the hydronium OH2 positive, okay, like this. Now the second thing that we have to take care of is it has become a hydronium ion like this, or let me just draw it over here, the same thing. Before rotating the bond, I am just writing what the molecule is going to look like before doing the rotation, okay. So it's going to be a OH2 positive hydronium ion, something like this, and this is another hydrogen right over here. So since it has the OH is now protonated, and the silicon has to be attacked by a external reagent, right, and the external agent is going to be water. Water is having oxygen, oxygen is a hard nucleophile once again, and the protonation of this OH2, which is a very good leaving group, it's going to drive this reaction, right. So what happens is when water is going to attack over silicon and this OH2 is going to leave, it has to take place from the anti-periplanar position, something like this. This is going to be not favored. Why? This position over here, the syn position or the syn periplanar adjustment is not going to be favored because of a lot of steric hindrance on the same side. That is why they are going to change their sides, they are going to rotate, and the hydronium ion comes on the opposite side as compared to the silicon, which is going to be attacked by water. That is why in the acidic medium always anti-periplanar position is going to be achieved by the molecule. That is why it is anti-elimination, okay. Right, so this is anti-elimination, and now what is going to happen? Water attacks silicon, it's going to break up the bond from here, and the hydronium ion leaves. Here you get a trans geometry of the alkene. You have to pay very much attention. Why did this happen? Because we started from the both of the R and the R dash on the same side, and in the product we are getting it on the trans. Why is this happening? Because of the molecule wants to achieve the anti-periplanar position, it has to rotate from this bond. That is why. So the statement is proved correct. The isomer which is formed depends on the substrate taken, right. So we took a cis substrate and we are doing anti-elimination on it. If we are doing anti-elimination on it, we are going to definitely get the trans alkene. All right, we are going to get the trans alkene. Let's say if we started with let's say if we started with trans alkene already, this is our trans molecule already, where the R and the R dash are on the opposite side. Okay, right. So if we started with a trans molecule, or let's say a DL pair, because the previous one was a meso type. Okay, right. So if we are starting with a trans molecule, and let's say both of these groups are on the same side, R and R dash on the opposite sides, so what is going to happen? Oxygen is going to again take up the proton, and it's going to form the hydronium ion, and that is why, because of the steric bulk, it is going to rotate, and when it rotates, the R and the R dash, which were in the beginning opposite, they are going to come close to each other, they are going to come on the same side. So basically both of these are above the plane of the paper, okay, towards you. Both of the hydrogens are away from you. Okay, right. So this is what is going to happen. Again, you are going to get a cis alkene. If you started from a trans molecule, you are going to get a cis alkene. This is what happens in the anti-elimination in the presence of acid. It's a very easy reaction. You just have to practice it once or twice. Anti-elimination in the presence of acid. Trans molecule is going to give cis alkene, and cis molecule is going to give trans alkene. Okay, very simple. Now let's move forward to what is going to happen in the basic medium. Let's study this as well. It is very important, guys. Selectivity in the basic medium, right? Okay, so this reaction in the basic medium, it shows syn elimination. Now what is syn elimination? Removal of two groups from the same side. Okay, so let's say if this is my hydrogen and this is some other leaving group, they are going to leave from the same side, and the stereochemistry is just going to be the same as we have started from. If we started from a cis molecule or a syn molecule, it's going to give us a cis alkene. Okay, right, let's see it. That in the basic medium, this reaction shows syn elimination, and the isomer formed depends on the substrate taken. Okay, very well. So let's now consider why is that happening, why the syn elimination is going to happen when both of these groups are bulky and they want to be far apart. Okay, that is happening because in the basic medium what happens is the proton is going to be lost first, right? The OH minus is not directly going to attack silicon. No, that would be wrong. It's first going to deprotonate the oxygen of the alcohol. That oxygen internally, since we have talked about key oxygen and fluorides are going to attack silicon, so that oxygen internally is going to attack over silicon, and this is going to be a syn elimination reaction, right? Both of the groups, the electrophilic group and the nucleophilic group, okay, they are leaving. This is a negative, and the nucleophilic group, they are going to leave from the same side, is called syn elimination. Okay, right, this is how it is going to be. Now what do you understand from this reaction? Since it is a syn elimination, which means that the stereochemistry of the molecule is going to be not disturbed, or let's say it is preserved. Okay, this is the stereochemistry of the whole reaction or the molecule which we started from is preserved. If we started from a cis molecule, or let's say a syn periplanar molecule like this, we are going to end up with a cis alkene like this. Both of the R groups are on the same side. Okay, if we started from this kind of a molecule where both the R and R dash are trans to each other, alright, we are going to still get a trans alkene. Okay, because now you will be able to do the mechanism of the Petersen elimination in the acidic medium as well as in the basic medium. So I hope that it's clear to you all. So in the acidic medium, stereo turns opposite. It turns opposite. Alright, if it is a cis molecule, it's going to give a trans alkene. If it's a trans molecule, it's going to give a cis alkene. In the basic medium, stereo is preserved. Alright, it's going to be the same as it was in the original molecule. Right, so let's now talk about a question which was asked in CSI UGC NET December 2013. Okay, very important question. So the major product formed in the following reaction sequence is, let's talk about this, that what do you see in this molecule? You see protected oxygen, this is a protected alcohol by the forming the benzyl ether. This is another OH. In between there is a SiMe3, silicon is present, and also another OH is present. Now the two things that you have to notice is we are having two different type of alcohol. One is above the plane, one is below the plane. This is what you have to consider. The second thing is you have to consider the conditions. Since it is a hydride, it's going to be a base, and we are going to do elimination in the basic medium. Now stop the video and try to do it by yourself. What is going to be the correct answer? How are we going to form an alkene in the basic medium? Okay, you can do that by yourself. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. Okay, right. So do it by yourself and then check it. Okay. So obviously guys, if we are having a hydride, it's going to take up a proton. Now whose proton it's going to take? I can't say that it's not going to take the proton on the oxygen below the plane. Definitely it's going to take that proton as well, but that is not going to give you Peterson elimination. Even if this proton is getting removed, it's not going to give you Peterson elimination, because in the basic medium, Peterson elimination is syn elimination. Okay, that is what you have to remember. So the oxygen which is on the same side is going to do that, right? I have written the whole mechanism if you want. So yes, this molecule right over here, which is given in the question, looks like this. If you want to draw the chair conformation, and you will be able to understand that this OH is above the plane, the silicon is above the plane, even though they are actually equatorial because 1-2 position is there. But this OH is pointing downwards. It cannot attack on the silicon over here. Okay, stereochemical restrictions are there, right? So this proton is going to take up this hydrogen. O becomes minus, anionic, it becomes anionic oxygen. It's going to attack over silicon, and the bonds are going to fall like this, and so on. Finally you get an alkene over here, right? This is where you get an alkene. This is the first part of this question, right? So you can also write it like this if you want, that let's say there is a double bond over here. This is the OH, and on the third carbon it's going to be OBN. This is a benzyl group. Okay, and both of these were below the plane. Both of these are below the plane, so that is why I've written a dash line over here. Now in the second part of the question, which is again a very important reaction, it's a very important reaction guys, oxidation by metachloroperbenzoic acid. Okay, and it's going to definitely give us an epoxide. So now that's the selectivity. Again, we are going to talk about it in some other video, but let me quickly tell you that the formation of an epoxide by metachloroperbenzoic acid is going to give you epoxide on the same side as our alcohol. So if already there is an alcohol present in the molecule, yes, we already have an alcohol present in the molecule, allylic alcohol. So that's going to determine where the epoxide is getting formed. So right over here, the epoxide is going to be formed below the planes, and these are our hydrogens, and let's say this is OH below the plane and OBN below the plane as well, something like this. Okay, very easy. So exactly this is what I have written over here. This oxygen is below below the plane, both the hydrogens are pointing upwards, so definitely epoxide is below. So if you want, you can check it out from here. The hydrogens are above, the OH is below, the benzyl ether is also below, and definitely the epoxide is below. So 2 seems to be correct. Why is 1 wrong? 1 is wrong because the hydrogens cannot be below the plane guys, right? Because of this OH group, it is driving the reaction, driving the epoxidation below the plane. Now if the hydrogens are below, the epoxide is above, right? That's wrong. 3 cannot be the answer because again this OH was not above the plane, because the elimination did not take place from this OH. The elimination took place from this OH. So definitely both of these group have to leave and this OH have to be kept. Okay, this is what you have to understand, why option 3 is wrong. Okay, And why option 4 is wrong? Because of the same thing, the OH above the plane cannot stay because it is syn elimination. Both the Si and oxygen on the same side have to leave. The other oxygen, the other hydroxy group is going to stay. So only second one is our correct answer. Now I hope that you will be able to solve more questions on the Peterson elimination reaction, and definitely more such videos are coming up, guys. And if you like this video, then please subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, and like the video. Also share it with your friends, guys, if you think that it's worth it. And thank you so much. I'll see you in another video coming very soon, just like this one. Thank you, guys.